there, everyone. Welcome back to my next episode playing TekTopia. I am Mar, and I have done a little bit of work off camera, as I tend to end up doing. I get caught up in what I'm working on, and next thing you know, progress has been made, and I'm like, oh crap, I should have been recording at least a little bit of this. But good news is I did get the village resorted. It is functional. I just had to build a little dome a little bit out of the way, and now I've got my town hall set up and my storage is working and all of that fun stuff. And Gru actually came over and helped out with a little bit of it as well. He's currently over at his base, and we got our cam accounts over there as well, keeping my main base loaded, and the Guardian farm. But I think we should just go ahead and get right into the early game changes that have been made here at the Guardian Village. Now, just to get a little bit of backstory here, basically, things happened a little quicker than I was anticipating. I started getting nomads, believe it or not. I don't know what changed, but I built over here, I built a little tunnel here that leads to the town hall dome, which is what I was planning on doing anyway. And shortly thereafter, I found nomads and a merchant, and they'd spawn right here. They'd stay there for about 5 seconds, and then they'd despawn and say that they failed to find a way to path in, which I thought was really, really weird. But I managed to, I had the free tokens that I had from, getting the town hall and whatnot. So I quickly came over here one of the mornings and quickly grabbed one of them, well, two of them, one for a forester and one for a farmer, and they stayed, and they went off and, started working or whatever. At least the forester did, because we had plenty of wood. The farmer had absolutely nothing to do, bored stiff, essentially. After that, though, once I did that, the new nomads and the merchant that would spawn, they didn't just despawn after 10 seconds. They will actually walk around and go in here. So I don't even have to make a platform out here in the corner. They'll just spawn right there and go on their merry little way. Now, since I had a forester and a farmer, I was like, well, I need to give the farmer something to do. I don't want her to just stand there and be bored. So I started working on a little farm. And then a little farm turned into a big farm. And then Gru came over when I was working on this and bought me more villager tokens and got some more nomads for me. And then I was like, wait, that's more than what I can fit with my house 2 up there. So now I've got villagers who don't have beds. So then Gru went and bought a house 6, and he put it up here and replaced it with the house 2. I'm like, but now they're crowded. I need to give them more space. This room here is only big enough for like 3 villagers. So I was like, okay, I gotta get them more space so they're not getting unhappy with me. So I quickly started building some house 6s over here. One thing just leads to another. Now I've got 4 valid house 6s just waiting to be filled with villagers. And then I was like, but they're all stupid. And I was like, well, I'm going to want to buy some of the more expensive housing tokens down there before they get exorbitantly priced. And Gru was like, oh, you should get a tavern, you should get a school, you should get a library. And so I did, and, well, here's the library, basically. It's kind of bland in there. It's not the most interesting thing to look at. Now, that's pretty much the extent of what I've done. I've done some lighting around the edges, just trying to clean it up a little. I added, like, this glass, almost like, not really a dome because it's not, like, circular, but a skylight of sorts. These arches are vanilla generated. I just put glass between them and then sponged up the inside. Basically what I did over here as well. And I love it. I love being able, especially at nighttime, I love being able to look up here and see all the stars and whatnot, and all those guys going bananas against the poor squids. Occasionally when I'm over here near the edges, like walking along here, not because I'm deliberately doing it, it's just because, maybe I'll be placing the glass or the sea lanterns or whatever, I'll just pick up little bits of ink sacs because a squid happened to die there at some point. I haven't really made any changes down here other than to add a safety wall here for the villagers so that they don't fall off, and to finish putting in the flooring and the lighting, basically. Other than that, it's still essentially birch wood. I haven't switched it out to other wood types yet. And I did put saplings here. I do know that this one for sure, I believe, and I think that one also will not actually grow because these are in the way. But that's fine with me. I don't really care. I might do like a custom tree there or something like that. So essentially, what I need to work on next is adding more housing over here. And I'm thinking that the 4 house 6s over here and the 4 house 6s over there and then the house 2 that I put back up there, those will probably be the only villagers I get. That's 50 villagers total. 24, 24, and 2. And I think 50 villagers probably going to be all we really need, because, you know, our main base, we went absolutely bananas. We've got, you know, oodles of all the villager types, essentially. We got, I mean, 30 of them are guards alone. We're not going to need any guards here. Everything on this layer up to the ceiling is it can't spawn, even if you took out all the lighting, it can't spawn anything except for guardians and, like, bats, basically. Now, out here, yes, this would be spawnable if you didn't have sea lanterns, but we do have sea lanterns. It's completely light, like, it's lit up enough that it is, in essence, spawn-proof. Same is true downstairs. Now, I am actually getting slimes spawn down here every so often. Sometimes I can hear them squelching around. However, they are not hostile towards villagers, so it should be completely safe anyway. So we don't need guards. We just really don't need guards. Another thing I was realizing as I was working on this, especially over here where I'm adding in, like, filling in the wings over here, I already have housing, essentially. It's not built on this side, but I'm going to build it. I essentially have housing for 50 villagers. I'm going to put the libraries already up there. I'm going to put the tavern on the other side, and then I'm going to put a schoolhouse underneath here, I think, and maybe spreading over on top of the storage, or maybe the other way around. I'm not quite sure yet. After that, I just need what? Like the butcher shop, of course. I'll put animals probably over here to kind of offset having the crops over there. I'll need somewhere for a blacksmith. I'll need a kitchen for our chefs. Let's see, what else is there? I don't really remember. No, I just built an entire village. I don't remember what kind of housing, like what kind of structures we can get. What do you got? So tavern, school. So the sheep pen, mine shafts, I don't know. That will probably be a very much, that and like ranching stuff will probably be the last things I work on, I think. Ranching, because you need 4 pens, and you need ideally probably 4 ranchers, 1 for each animal type, and then you need at least 1 butcher. Probably gonna want more than 1 butcher, honestly. And then, of course, you need a kitchen and a chef. The butcher needs a butcher shop. That's a lot of tokens just to make use of basically everything that you're going to be using from the animals. The miners, of course, you need the miners and the mine shafts. The problem with the mine shafts is we're in an ocean, and I don't want ugly little tunnels being built out here by the miners, essentially, because that's what they'll do. They'll just build their own little 1 wide 2 tall tunnel going out that way, or, you know, whichever direction, and that's gonna look really tacky, you know, looking out here and seeing this tunnel thing. So I'm gonna want to build it down beneath, like, low enough that they're not gonna get gravel falling on their head from the ocean floor. And I'm going to want druids that are high enough level, and I have a few tokens already. So we've got currently 3 farmers and 2 lumberjacks. Next up will be a 4th farmer, so that I can have 1 for each crop. And I did buy 4 druids as well. And I got my first heart, so we're already in the heart business over here. They are apparently happy enough to start producing hearts, which is excellent. But yeah, I mean, essentially, like the ranching industry, basically, and then the mining industry, and if you don't have a miner or mine shaft or whatever, then there's no point in having a smithy, but you would need to buy the smithy and the smithing structure, essentially. Let's see, cow, library, chicken coop, butcher, smithy, guard post. We're not going to need those. We will want to buy a merchant stall. Kitchen we can do now because we do have, like, potatoes coming in and whatnot. Barracks we're probably not going to buy, so I'm thinking what I'll probably buy next is a kitchen and a merchant stall, and then 1 or 2 chefs. And I did unfortunately discover that if you buy villager tokens over here, just like the structure tokens, you can't use them on villagers from another village. So those ones that I accidentally bought, these ones from my other village, my main base, I can't use those here. What I don't know is whether you could use those on, say, oops, that's the wrong button, on, say, a nitwit or something like that over there, or nitwit or nomads at our main base, if I turn them into the proper villagers and then bring them here, like through the nether or something, would that work? I don't know. Would they start working for this village even though it wasn't the one they started out at? That might be something I want to try. Because, quite honestly, I mean, what else am I going to do with these? Unless I have deaths, which I probably won't since I turned the necromancer back off again. I mean, I shouldn't have any deaths. At the most, I'll just have more villagers just go disappear. But I can always buy them again, I guess. I don't see any purpose in holding 3 chef tokens and 1 farmer token on the off chance that I need to use them again, though. So I may try that. I might try those on nomads or nitwits and then bring them here in the nether and see if it works. That'll also tell me whether the teacher will work, and then I don't have to make a new teacher and start all over. So that's essentially where I'm at in this process. I think what I want to work on immediate, like not in the immediate time, since we have, you know, we need to get some emeralds up. I'm running low on emeralds from all this buying. I mean, I know this is a lot of emeralds for some people, but after the prices I've been seeing at my main base, that is actually not very many emeralds at all. I definitely need to do some pretty significant trading here as well as at the main base to keep the supply coming. But what I want to do here is I want to add the other house 6s over here, put the tavern in the top, and then maybe put the schoolhouse up here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the house 6s. This is essentially the pattern we've got going on. It's very similar to the storage. I put, like, anywhere where I'm going to have a pillar, I do a dark prismarine, normal prismarine, and then a prismarine brick on top. And then I put the cyan glass in like this. And I'll add a little, like, ledge here or whatever you would call it with more prismarine bricks. And that's I mean, it's a really simple design. I already have the sea lantern, and it's kind of hard to see. This is cyan glass here, blocks, because my concern is if I end up using any villager hearts, so I get, you know, villager babies, I don't want them to walk in there and then grow up and either suffocate in the block or get popped out into the ocean or whatever. I'm like, that does not seem like a good idea. Which is also why I put these beds in the other housing, this housing here and the one over there. I do bed, 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 and then turn around, bed, bed, bed. But if I do that over here, this is only 2 blocks high, and that does not seem like a good idea. I don't even know if they would use it like that. But yeah, it's a very simple design. They're all it's more or less symmetrical, and then I've just got the same sort of staircase design as I have over here that leads up to our library, and the library essentially just takes up all of the room. And yes, they can use the bookshelves even though they are underneath another full block. Obviously I won't need to do that with the tavern. I will need to set up some seats and tables and whatnot though. And I suppose I will need to get a bard at some point, so I'll want to set up a note block as well. So let me get at that a little bit and kind of replicate this basic design here on this side. Ah, excellent. 2 more, oh, you're perfect for a lumberjack. What are you? Blacksmith and cleric. Okay, you can be a farmer then. I guess it doesn't really matter. We're gonna put you on. I believe I needed someone on, was it wheat? Hey, are you the same dude? Oh, I have more. Oh, you'd be such a good bard. I think I need to get a bard. Don't go anywhere, okay? Let's see. Let's get some emeralds. I do not know how expensive a bard is going to be. Let's try and do this somewhat quickly. Okay, so I do have someone working wheat. I have 2 people accidentally working wheat. Is that true? Wheat, and I thought so. I thought I had 2 people on wheat. Oh, no, you're on carrots. What are you doing over here? Oh, I bet tilling the soil, maybe. So wheat and wheat. Okay, so I knew I had 2. It just wasn't those 2. I need someone on beetroots, please. Oh, I'm sorry. That was not mine. I'm sorry. Did that turn into villagers? Good, it did. Okay, take your stuff. You're gonna be my bard. Right, bard. Gotta go get the token. Oh, Mr. Nomad. Hold still and accept this. Wait. Which one were you? Were you this one? Yes. Accept the lumberjack token, please. Don't pick up acacia. Don't pick up dark oak. Not that I expect having any of those over here anyway. But just on the safe side, you know? You guys have such a problem right there, don't you? One at a time, guys. Take turns. Okay, where'd that other nomad go? Mr. Bard in training. Hello? Mr. Bard in training. Where are you? Oh, is that him? Man, they do such a dodge on you. Oh, yes, you are the one. Okay, you Perform in tavern, perform in village, read in library, visit tavern. Yes. All of the above. Yes, please. Go and do things. Thank you. There we go. That's the last of the glass, I think. I need to add some blocks here. This is where I plan on putting the item frames. Now, granted, I don't even have the extra house 6 tokens yet. It may be prudent to not even put in the beds or chairs either. Because, like, it will give me room for 50. But, I mean, I don't... I mean, it's gonna be expensive buying all those house tokens, I bet. What are you doing here? Oh, because it's the time where you would normally be playing in the tavern. Maybe we should just... We need to get the tavern up. That's what we need to do. So let's see. I need... Yes, some birch stairs. I don't have very many left, apparently. I don't even think I have any birch wood in here. I may need to go chop some down. I'm not really seeing any in any of these jumbled up. Oh, here we go. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Please and thank you. Now, I discovered something interesting. Where are the doors? I didn't know this was a thing. And maybe it's not in 1.13 onward, maybe 1.14, but like you can't put a door on a sea lantern. I find that very annoying because I wanted one right there because it would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, light, 1, 2, 3, 4, light, obviously 1, 2, but like I wanted one right here and it wouldn't let me. I'm pretty certain you can do that in 1.14, can't you? Have I been playing 1.12 for like, I feel like I've been playing it forever and there's just things that I still don't realize that's how 1.12 used to be. I swear that's possible in 1.13 onward anyway. I'll be honest, I have not played hardly anything for 1.15. Pretty much when 1.15 came out and, well, we didn't have Optifine, so we didn't therefore have shaders. And also I was really annoyed with how they kind of wrecked the villagers. I was like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna take a little bit of a break from 1.15, and that's about when I started going like all crazy on you know, TekTopia and whatnot, and eventually, you know, I added the SevTech and all of that stuff going on, but I really just haven't played very much. I've logged in and I did some end raiding on the Vastin server. I've done some more villager work. I've actually added some new things to the library. But yeah, in general, I really haven't been playing very much in 1.15, so I have very little knowledge about what new mechanics there are. I know that there's bees, I guess, but yeah. 2, 3, 4, right here. Visible from the outside, which kind of sucks, but I mean, you can't really do a whole lot about it. There we go. I wanted to get that block from up there. So I'm going to grab my torches because we don't need those anymore. And remember, the lighting in here is for our benefit, so we can see, not to prevent spawns. Within the bounding box, not the bounding box even, just within this area and whatnot. And I guess probably the water up here is the way I imagine from this floor up within the corners. That's basically those guys only. Just them. Those annoying people who make a lot of noise, and they are very mad when they cannot get in here. Aren't you guys? Yes. They only spread out here because they're swimming out here, and vice versa with the squid spawning out here, and I don't know why they would swim in. That seems a little stupid, you know? Like, let's swim where they're gonna kill us. This sounds like a great idea. But that's squid for you. Okay, so let's see. We need to put in a door. And I need an item frame and the token for the tavern. Active. All right, right? Yes, there's the shimmer. There's the shimmer I like to see. Okay, so we do need to get some chairs in here and some, you know, fakey tables. I'm kind of disappointed about the tables because they're just, you know, fences with carpet on them, basically. And they technically, I think that the fences and the carpet technically count against the spacing available for villagers to use. Like, how many villagers can be in here before they start getting unhappy. And I'm not particularly wild about that. Where are all the seats? I swear I had more seats. Oh, only 4 of them? Okay, I guess I need to make more. Alright, let's see how many tables and chairs I can fit in here without it looking ridiculous. Now, we can't use this block space. In fact, I will most likely be taking sea lanterns and glass to it. However, with that said, we can totally go up to this wall here, because it's not like they're going to be standing on the chairs. And they can't climb onto the tables, the fences with the carpet on top. So let's see. I've got my chairs. What kind of spacing are we looking at? Because I could do... Because we'll want chairs on either side of every table. So if I use maximum space possible... So villager, villager, table, villager, villager, table, villager... Okay, so yeah, we could do that. I mean, that's some real crammed in villagers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16. And then if we add a chair here, let's see, if I put this right here, chair and chair, 1, 2, 3. So yeah, we technically could do basically a massive grid pattern. I mean, it's going to be a busy, busy, like, packed tavern. But it's also going to be the only tavern we have. And I definitely want to make sure that we have plenty of seating in here. Let's just see, because like I said, housing-wise, we'll probably never make more housing than what we've pretty much prepared for, and that's 50 villagers. So right here, 3 times 4 is 12, 24. I mean, we do need a little bit more in order to fit everybody in. I don't know where we're going to put the poor bard. Somewhere in the middle, I suppose. Ooh, nomads! Nomads! What do you got? What do you got? Nothing? Nothing? Alright. I guess beggars can't be choosers, right? You, come here and be a lumberjack. There. And no acacia, no dark oak. Do we have any more nomads? I don't think so. He's the only one I spotted. Now I'm just plugging in the edges here just to make absolutely sure that we can't have any mishaps with the children as a creepy Minecraft sound plays. It is really nicely lit up, that's for sure. Now, it's not enough to support the entire village, but unless people die, I should never have that many villagers that are unhappy and need to be in here anyway. So 12, 12, plus 4, plus 4. I think that's almost half of what the village will be able to hold. Hopefully that's enough. I don't think I could have fit more villagers in here unless I really, like, cram them in like sardines. Like if I put another table here, for example. But this is where I want to put the note block. This is kind of a central location. And it should be enough to reach everybody. And it gives the guy a nice plenty of space to stand there and do his thing. Alternatively, I mean, I could put it back here. I think he can still use it if it's embedded, similar to how the bookshelves were. But at the same time, I don't know if he stands here. I don't think he's close enough to make those guys at the far end actually happy. So I'm trying to keep him somewhat centralized. The only thing that is, well, I mean, we got the bard. I guess actually there's nothing else really to do at this point other than add the note block. And that's easy enough. If I remember correctly, that's redstone and like wood. Oops, that's my rockets chest, not my redstone chest. Put that back. By the way, I am only ever going to buy one of the bards for this village. I learned my lesson with the last village. Only one for me. Thanks. Please and thank you, you know. I like how the village feels. You can really cram a lot in here. I was expecting that I'd be able to put like a couple rooms in here. I guess it kind of goes with the saying, like, your eyes are bigger than your stomach. Well, in this case, my eyes are much smaller than the guardian, or than the monument. Because you could fit a lot of things in here. You know, I'll put animals over here. I'll put the butcher shop here somewhere. Schoolhouse is going to be somewhere up there, I guess. I don't know. I have just enough space for a little walkway on this side. I don't know whether we'll ever need to expand the storage, but I guess if I do, I'll expand it this way. And maybe add another set of doors so that they can walk directly that way through the storage. That's definitely one option, because really nobody has a need to go down there. It's just where the nomads and the merchant will spawn. I will want to put the merchant's stall somewhere, though. That is definitely important. Somewhere very close to storage. That's also something I learned my lesson from. I wouldn't change it. Like, I love the way I did my main base. I love having it feel very immersive and whatnot, for like my vision for what the village was going to be. Like everything had like a lore aspect as well, but there's just something to be said for making things a little practical. Having things a little closer to storage, having the merchant close to storage. I mean, these are things that I think are pretty important. Speaking of storage, I am definitely going to have to get myself my own little storage nook, I think. It's just kind of one of those things. I was thinking maybe putting it up here, because, like, you come in here, I love the way this looks, but this is really just, even if I put, like, a ladder going up, that's not nearly enough space. Not for me, anyway. But I'm sure I'll find a place to put it somewhere. So the next thing up is to kind of section off. Obviously, I'm not going to be adding the animals yet. There's really no point. The villagers can't use them, and I don't need them. I got plenty of... I'm eating a little bit of steak right now, but I've got plenty of fish. Actually, Gru wants to throw away some of the cooked fish from the Guardian farm, because we've got, like, 4 double chests of cooked cod. But, like, I'm gonna be staying well-fed. The villagers can't use the animals yet anyway, but knowing where they're gonna be will tell me what space I have for other things. Like, if the animal pens are over here, where exactly can I build the butcher's shop? Like, these things are things you want to think about when you're planning out your base. And I think I see people in the tavern! Yes! My first customer! Alright, sir. Please tell me. What do you think of this? What do you think about the tavern? Is it well suited to your taste? Do you like the decoration choices? You do like the... I'm glad to hear that. Thank you for letting me take your time. Hello, madam. Don't mind if I pick up squid from the other side of the wall, apparently. Oh, and you, Bard, playing music in a chair. That might be a little awkward for whoever eventually sits there. Oh no! Oh no! 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 I forgot to turn it off! I'm sorry! I'm sorry! I'm sorry! No! No! Oh. Oh. That was terrifying. Oh no, I can't believe I forgot to do that. Oh, that was the most terrifying thing. Oh no. Crew was already here? I didn't know he was already here. Sheepies! Sheepies! It looks like he totally abandoned the sheep the moment the necromancer happened. Oh, that was horrible. I mean, he only gave me 4 emeralds and he was really easy to defeat, but... still, you know. Come here, sheepy. Come with me. Into the pen. Looks like this is where you're going. In the pen! In the pen! Wow. Well, that was an adventure I wasn't anticipating having. Alright, so I've got the animals in here sorted. I have not bought or placed the tokens yet. I don't want them to until, of course, I have ranchers to keep them all from dying off. Gru helped me out. He brought over some grass, and I put in some dirt, and it's pretty much all spreading now. I did move around the animals a little bit because this is actually the pen I wanted the chickens to be in. It's the smallest of the 4. This one, and this one are all, like, this one's very different shape, but it is a little larger on, you know, this direction. So it actually does, I believe it should have the same exact amount of space as these two. Which makes this one a little bit smaller, which makes sense because the chickens only count for, like, it counts as a 1 instead of a 3 like those ones do. So yeah, a smaller size pen will still give us more than the rest of them will on their own. I've also set up, again, I haven't placed the token or anything like this. This is where I'm going to put the butcher shop. It's pretty small. It's just enough room for 2 butchers, essentially, and that's really all I'm going to need. 1 butcher would probably be, well, I mean, 2 would probably be best, I would say. 1 would probably be able to get by. But, like, the pens for the sheep, the cows, and the pigs, and the chickens, even, I assume anyway, it's still going to be pretty much as big as the other one, even though I'm going to undoubtedly have fewer villagers to go in to need it. It'll probably result in me getting quite a bit of a surplus, I would imagine. But yeah, I think it's coming along pretty nicely. I think I'll probably put the kitchen over here, or maybe I'll put the kitchen directly on top of the storage here. That way they just go up and down the stairs to gain access. I did kind of want to leave this space here nice and open. But I do, of course, have the area up there. I do need to put the school up there somewhere as well. There's a lot of details I haven't quite figured out. I haven't quite decided where I wanted them. Obviously, the butcher is to be close to the animal, so you go to the animal, kill it, and then just walk right over here to the doors and deposit it. But yeah, I think we're coming along quite nicely. We've got 9 villagers, we got 4 farmers, 4 foresters, and 1 bard. They are doing an outstanding job. The foresters are down here. Like, look at this. There's almost every single tree is gone. However, once I get druids, once I get druids going, they'll be able to keep this pretty well grown, although I see that we're having a little bit of a problem replanting, guys. I mean, come on. You can't tell me you don't have enough saplings, because the only trees you're doing is literally birch, and there's saplings on the ground all over the place. I do not want to hear about your excuses for why you're not replanting. But yes, I think it's looking pretty good. I actually came down here. There was a giant slime bouncing around. I killed him and got some slime balls off of him. 17, in fact. But yeah, I'm definitely loving the way the space is going. It's very different for me having everything so compact, and Drew was telling me, now you know how good it feels to have things, in a decent distance instead of spread out like crazy. And yes, he is right. But I think this is probably a good place to stop the episode, to just call it here and pick up next time. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I hope you are enjoying this. I hope you're as excited as I am to be here in the village, that we managed to get it working with the town hall over there on the side, and all the crazy progress that we've already made in such a short amount of time. I'm really excited to see this. I don't know if it'll take quite as long as I was expecting to get it to like full 50 villagers, or however many it ends up being. But I am definitely excited to see how it goes along. So I hope you come back for more, and until next time, I hope you have a fantastic time, and I will see you later. Bye!